the show has started.
Does it? Oh,
Absolutely,
what
yeah,
a way to
just
start. Look
started.
at that. Pleasantries and everything.
Exactly. Well, I thought I'd get him out the way on the air so people can know that you're a nice person, rather than you just asking how I am off cam, and then when we come on, you just straight in they're like, I haven't even asked how he is. What a fucking dickhead. I'm good, mate. You can call us the Wolf of Benefit Street from now on, because as
You
of
got an
today,
into it, yeah.
we're on the stock market. Well, I'm not
You're
on
on
the
the
stock
stock
market.
market. We can buy stocks in Jimmy Bud.
You actually can. Let us say they're not going for a lot. Right about now, they're probably worth as much as I don't know, anything that Harvey Weinstein's involved in.
Mallrats is still on Netflix, so that's got to be still worth a couple of quid.
That's true, man. Everyone's still going to play fucking Quentin Tarantino films, and they're all Miramax.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a nonce, but he's going to keep making money. It's like when, was it Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy put Gary Glitter on one of the soundtracks? Like,
Joker.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. Like, that's
But
just,
it fits
I
it
know he's
perfectly, though.
dead.
It did work. And it works that it's Gary Glitter because he's fucking... The guy's demented, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, there's royalties getting paid to someone there.
Yeah.
Fair play. But although today isn't about it, we can't not mention everything that's going on at the moment.
It keeps it topical, doesn't it?
It is. Have you watched or read anything? What's
Not
what's
really.
your view?
I've been seeing a little bit in some of the Discord chats that I'm in. Little bits on in there, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really understand any of it. I've tried to do, them apps where you can like, oh, here's a free 10 grand that's fake,
Yeah,
so you can
yeah.
practice your stocks and stuff.
Bit
Mate,
like Football
I
Manager.
can rinse that money in 5 minutes and make a loss that would probably ruin a small country.
Well, you're ready for the world of finance then, clearly.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd probably make me way up the ladder, wouldn't I?
Yeah. You'd smash it, mate. You'd fail your way to the top. So I mean, to give like a layman's breakdown, did you ever see Have you ever seen The Big Short, the film?
No,
It's got
I don't think
fucking
so.
the bloke from 40-Year-Old Virgin and that in. Anyway, it's a very good explanation of what happened in the 2008 economic crisis in America, like the property crisis. Essentially, like it's hedge funds and large scale investment companies betting on other companies to fail. Exactly. Your face does it all.
I'm frowning for anyone that obviously isn't Jimmy.
It's pretty obvious that you would frown. It's fucking dark. But yeah, they essentially make money from other things failing, folding. It basically plays a bet on whether or not that'll like gonna happen.
Be a good way for schools to get more funding, wouldn't it? If you could have like in the back room some like bookie in the back of the hall who's taking bets on the slow kids. Who's gonna do worse?
Yeah, well, what's happened here is an investment company, a massive hedge fund, were essentially trying to short GameStop, which is like an American version of our game, essentially. Just a video game store, which obviously nowadays, video game stores, everything's downloadable. There's not many... People do still buy physical copies, but they're in decline. So it makes sense that that's a business that's on its way out. But they were planning to short it, essentially make a big profit off the end of that company. And there's a subreddit called Wall Street Bets. Now, what that does is they basically play the economy for a meme and try and have fun, sort of like manipulate the market as such, and maybe like a little bit in the process, maybe help a little company in the process. Now, what they saw with this, obviously, it's Reddit, so most people on Reddit have spent a lot of time at GameStop, I can imagine. And they were like, we're not letting you take GameStop. So instead of allowing it to be like lose value, they started buying stocks, buying shares, and that drove the value up and up to the point where the company that had invested in betting against them is going to be declaring bankruptcy. They also try to cover their losses in the meantime by taking a loan from another bank, quite a large loan, like billions probably, and that'll obviously fail, so that bank will then be called into question as well. And it could have a ridiculous knock-on effect. In the meantime, while this has been happening, now GameStop's now worth about 13 billion. It's ridiculous. Like, it's one of the best companies at the moment. It's in the top 100 without a doubt. Like, it's gone fucking mental. The likes of Elon Musk and that have backed it. You've got a load of names who have been like, this is fucking fantastic. There's a lot of people that have done it to sort of make money in the meantime, because while they drive the price up, like, companies that are losing money are going to try and recuperate losses by getting those stocks to try and make some money themselves. So they're just going to keep driving the price and aren't going to give in until it gets to a certain point. Some people obviously want to make money, but there's others that are like, no, this is like real social change. If we don't sell, like, we fuck hedge funds and, like, we make big financial establishments go down, which is a real change. So do you want to make some money, or do you want to crush the system? Because that's what fucking a lot of them are in it for. They're in it for the long haul, just being like, we're not going to sell this stock at all. We're actually going to keep this. And just have GameStop worth billions of money, and in the process crushing loads of millionaires and all their investments.
It'd be pretty cool if it made games cheaper, though. Rather than them being 50 quid, the owners of the shop are like, you know what, you've done us a favour here, we'll drop them down to 30 again.
Yeah,
They used to be 30 quid, we'll bring them back to 30 quid.
They'll take
We're
a
making
loss.
enough.
They'll take a loss on every game for a bit. They'll be like, look, we've made that much money in stocks that actually it does cost us 40 quid to get them off Microsoft, but we'll sell you them for 30. Also, our chauffeur will drive you to GameStop in a Mercedes of your choice. You'll be given champagne and chocolate while you wait, and then
And
you'll
a
be
copy
taken...
of the keys that you'll have to share on a rotation basis.
Yeah, and then you have to still be able to be taken round by a chaperone and chosen which game you'd like to purchase while they're all sat on velvet cushions.
Would you like a taster, sir?
Yeah.
And you just like, oh yes, this seems like a good second-hand copy. I can smell the 40-year-old that owned it. I'll take this one, please.
I can smell the 1998 on that copy of FIFA. Ooh, delicious. Absolutely delicious. But yeah, it's a big fuck you. Now, in response, I mean, I don't want to put any tinfoil hats on as if this isn't a tinfoil show, but a lot of apps have stopped being able to buy stock in certain companies. GameStop's one. But there's also another few companies that they're going after. I've got a couple of bits in a couple of them. And there's a lot of trading apps and trading sites have stopped people being able to buy any of this stock. You're only allowed to hold or sell it. Now, that's illegal.
Oh.
One of the main apps that's done it is Robinhood. Now, they're shown to have an affiliation in ownership with the capital company, the hedge fund, that's... at the centre of being taken down as a result of it. So there's a little bit of what you could call collusion going on there. In response, like this Reddit group's banded together and filed class action lawsuits against loads of these apps, being like, yeah, that's illegal, so that's market manipulation. Now let's take you all to court now. So not only are we going to rinse the market and get rid of this hedge fund, but we're also going to take you to court as well and probably make some money off that and make you fold. It's ridiculous.
To get conspiratorial, though, like you say, no tinfoil hats, but why not just a little? What if GameStop have made all of this happen? What if they've been putting little slips, instead of download codes for DLC, they've been slipping them in the boxes saying on this date do this, or on this day do this at some point, or join this subreddit or something, because they wanted to make loads of money so that they could convert all of their shops into like internet cafes or gaming cafes, so you can go in there and game, rather than go in there and buy the game, so they can still make money out of the premises that they own and the equipment that they've kind of got, and keep in the same market. Because they would need a lot of money to be able to convert them all into that. I don't
think they need the billions that they're currently worth.
They could get the best though, couldn't they? If they get all the best equipment, that's a really good way to advertise that equipment and sell that equipment. They could sell the equipment online, the expensive gaming chairs, the mad computers, fucking mad TVs, projectors, things like that, and then you go in there, you use it, and you're like, yeah, this is sick. You know what? Yeah, I'll order one of these now.
At this point, right, they wouldn't even have to just let you play Call of Duty. They could afford to kit you out in full gear armor with a fucking brand new M16 with mounted grenade launcher and fucking everything. Yeah, they can even afford to genetically modify your DNA so you had the perks that you have on Call of Duty, like being extra fast or being able to carry more or being cold-blooded. Yeah,
Being able to jump off of really high things and just flinch.
Yeah.
Just go when you hit the floor rather than break both your legs.
Take 6 bullets to the face and then put a bandage on yourself and you're absolutely fine.
Being able to grab one of them duffel bags out of nowhere and dumping duffel bags full of guns on the floor that have just spawned out of thin air. That'd be one hell of a genetic trait, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, as far as they go, being able to spawn a duffel bag that you can then empty.
Don't even
or
have to
fill
click
with
your fingers for it. Yeah, you just equip an army in the street.
Specifically a duffel, no other sort of bag.
No,
you can't do
no
boxes.
handbags are out, or no boxes and that.
Just,
boxes would be Metal Gear Solid anyway.
Yeah, and you don't.
That'd be a shit genetic trait though. If they're like, "Wait, what do you want? What do you want?" Oh, I want to be able to whip a cardboard box out and hide in it wherever I want, and no one knows I'm in it.
What would be even worse is if your genetic trait was that when you became alert, an exclamation mark appeared above your head.
Imagine trying to sneak around.
That's fucking. I always thought that was hilarious. Just like one of the first games I ever played, Metal Gear Solid, and just they had the question mark and then the exclamation mark. Like, well, I'm glad that didn't happen in real life because everyone would always be able to tell when you were angry. You're just like, bah!
Be good though for people that struggle with emotions, and that could be the way the world's going, innit? So maybe they will start injecting that into people.
I tell you, someone who doesn't sort of have an issue with emotions, and that's the focus of our show today.
I bet he's had one of these genetic injections as well, you know.
Mate, but you've already seen this document. You know that's
money on it.
In it.
Since you last got sent this. Since he's listened to this show 2 minutes ago, he's texting everyone at work.
Yeah, man.
So, I've had one of them jabs, you know.
This is I was at a job once. I'm not going to mention a name.
You don't need to. No one needs to know.
What can we'll call him Chuck, because this is definitely something that Chuck Norris would do. He's the embodiment of that. Like,
this guy probably knows him.
Oh, trained with him. Trained with him.
Yeah. Trained him. He trained Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
This is Chuck's list. Now, Chuck's list is a list that wasn't compiled by Chuck, more so around Chuck. He's the centre of this, and it's essentially a lovely bloke as well. Like, but
was he?
Yeah, man.
See, that helps, man. That makes me actually like it more. I'm going to preface this by saying I think this is probably the best thing we've ever done.
Oh, it's amazing!
This is one of the best things I've ever read.
I have been holding on to this information for a very long time, on the off chance that one day it would come up, and I could never do it by myself because it would have just been me reading from a list. But like having someone to bounce it off, especially someone who's never met this person, to get your sort of interpretation of what you think this person's like and how accurate it is, it's unreal. But this is a list compiled by people who work with this lad. He's just a compulsive liar. Well, was he a liar? You could be the judge. I'm sure Jack's already come to some sort of conclusion, but we'll see if that changes. And this is a list of, how many is there? 137. 137 recorded lies or claims. It's called the Bull List. And, I mean, how do you want to go about this? I don't want to just do top to bottom. I mean, there's
no one's going to know, though, because it's not like they're in any particular order, is it?
That's very true.
They don't crescendo or anything like that. They don't build to anything.
They do sort of crescendo. Some of the ones at the end get so fantastical, but if you sort of highlighted any that you wish to pick out, I tell you what, we will start from the very top. We'll just read a couple out because they're short and sweet.
I've got a little system for the first 48. And then I had to take my dog to the vets because he's got a bad eye. So I didn't manage to finish off the system for the rest. But
right, what the fuck's your system?
My system is ones that could be... Well, I've tried to link them together kind of thing. I've got ones that could be true. Like, there's no reason why that couldn't be true. I've got a section where there's no point in telling this lie.
That's all of them.
I've got about a dozen crimes.
Yeah.
And then ones that could be done if you had enough money, that I believe could have been done at some point if you just had money to burn, which,
okay,
weirdly enough, money to burn was number, what number was that? That was number 96, guys, money to burn. He wanted to burn a £50 note.
Oh yeah, he has burnt a £50 note. Yeah, he has. Yeah,
He just knows them all off his head. You do.
he has. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, I tell you as a belter, right? Because the first four are pretty like pretty fucking like shit. Like a 16-year-old would say, it, flown to the edge of space.
Yeah, but that builds, man. That I think that's good. I think the fact that a 16-year-old would say this to impress other 16-year-olds, or like an 18-year-old that's just got his first Corsa would say this to impress a 13-year-old girl.
The
The
difference
first four,
being,
definitely.
the difference being that this person was probably around between the age of 25 and 40. I'm going to say between the age of 25 and 33 when they were saying these. 35 when they were saying these. It was definitely late 20s to early 30s to 40.
I mean, that means he's either quite a good-looking guy or hideous. Because that's a big gap there to be able to fit somewhere in there, but
because
not be
no,
able
because
to
I
quite
know how long
pinpoint it.
he'd been at the business,
Oh, okay.
so it's at that time span that's been
okay.
recorded.
Using
So I reckon
maths,
he
not
was
his
late
face.
20s to like almost up to 40.
Okay.
But I mean, the first four, they build up to a sort of decent one. You've got flown to the edge of space, flown Concorde, been to every continent, been to the North and South Pole, government abduct people, not aliens, and then his mate fights for Emperor in Japan.
Yeah, which is that doesn't even really make sense. Like, is he fighting? Is it like Mortal Kombat?
Yeah,
And
he
the
fight.
Emperor
Yeah,
of Japan is like the evil guy, and he's like, "Yous have to fight to the death," or is he a bodyguard? I mean, there's a lot of bodyguard stuff in here.
there's
Like,
a
it's
lot.
big on the bodyguard
It is a
stuff,
common theme. Military and bodyguard is a common theme.
but it's a way to sound cool, I guess. That
He
innit?
has a Mensa IQ, which again, that was a given. For someone that's able to do all of these things, they have to have the IQ
Yeah.
at Mensa
Well,
level.
that could explain it all, though. He could just be really fucking bored in the job, and he's just, I'm going to entertain myself here. I'm surrounded by fucking idiots. I'm a genius. I should be working in a fucking physics laboratory or something, or making rockets, where I'm sat here at a desk, hating myself. So I'm going to fucking tell all these people I'm basically a god.
Doesn't hate himself.
Does he not?
Nah, man, like, really happy sound guy. Like, he complains
fucking
about
hell.
work, but really he loves it. He loves being there and he loves the people. Like, and I think part of this is
Yeah.
that he wants to be sort of entertainment for them, but he does believe that it's true. Well, no, he probably doesn't believe that it's true, but he believes that, like, people will see it as truth. So I mean, some of this, right? It's not just the writing of it's not just the lies, but it's the way they've been added. Like, as if there's been some humour with the people who've written these, because this has been passed around. This wasn't done by one person.
Yeah, no, I saw the thread.
Yeah. And like number 9, he was sold an AK-47 from World War II for £300.
Someone's
The
done the
AK-47
research,
was
the
only made
research.
from 1947.
So either he's not on his history or that is a lie. But I've got that one, as you'll imagine. That one is categorised in my little filing system as crime.
Yeah, crime.
'Cause that's
Also,
a crime. That's a pretty big crime as well, really.
there's no point in telling that lie. That's also a
No,
good
there's
one.
not.
Yeah.
Well, I had that for number 5 and 6. No point in lying.
He's got myxomatosis in his attic.
Yeah, along with anthrax as well.
Yeah, man. Like,
So he's got a load of rabbits, a load of rabid rabbits, and fucking a powder that you can just fucking kill a whole street with.
I've got Christmas decorations in mine. Like, I would never keep anthrax and myxomatosis in
No,
my
why would you keep it in your house?
How can you keep myxomatosis?
Just breed the rabbits. Just
No, he doesn't say.
continuously
He
breeding
does. It
rabbits.
doesn't
No, he
say
doesn't
anywhere
say
there
rabbits. He doesn't
that
say
there's
rabbits.
rabbits.
No.
He just says he's got myxomatosis, as if like it's a damp. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I've just got a bad patch of myxomatosis in me.
yeah.
Like, don't stand over there. The myxomatosis is really bad. You'll turn into
Yeah,
a
it'll have
zombie.
you.
Yeah, it'll get you.
Number 10, I've got to admit, I think number 10, I'm probably going to say this quite a lot. Number 10, I think, is my favourite.
Blows up pigeons.
Blows up
Oh, it's
pigeons.
fantastic.
Because
Absolutely.
that's a Simpsons episode where they're throwing rice at pigeons. I wonder how much of this comes from the Simpsons.
Do you know what? There's points when they're talking to this lad through the years that his imagination is more fantastic. Like, he would be a fucking mint comedy writer. Unintentionally. Like, you'd hire him, but you wouldn't take anything he wrote down and recommended as any of the bits. Yeah, just the shit he does. Like, you'd be like, he writes a bit, you're like, yeah, that's great, and then he does something and tells you something about himself. You go, that's the fucking real gold right there, mate. I'll write that one down.
Well, you'd hire him as like the plumber or something, then wouldn't you?
What was
Like, for
that?
the
Number
business or
26.
the janitor.
He was chucked through the window of a pub and then just got up and had a drink with the guy who did it. Yeah, that's the fucking shit. That's
Yeah,
going in
but
the
that
next
could be
episode.
true though. That could be true.
But
Because
yeah.
they've settled the argument. You don't know what he's done to do it. He might have just got up to him. Like one of the times I've been punched in the face, and I have thought to myself immediately afterwards, yeah, fully deserved that. I'm not even going to retaliate. So I can understand why. I mean, getting thrown through a window is very different, and then to come back in the pub. I find hard to believe about number 26 is that why would the landlord let you back in?
Well, because of all these other things, clearly he's
Scared of you.
Yeah, he's an international man of mystery, security, and violence. You would not want to refuse this man from your bar. In fact, the person that threw him through a window either hadn't met him before or was even harder. Possibly the person that fights for the Emperor of Japan.
Yeah,
we might not know. Maybe it might be when he was in the army. They used laser guns, which is number 27. Now it's disputed as to whether this lad was ever in the armed forces.
Okay.
And let me tell you now, they wouldn't let the fucking hear a laser pen. They're not going to give him a laser gun. So I mean,
know though, if he is a bit, a bit tapped in that, a bit like not tapped as in slow, but tapped as in a bit mad. That is probably the one that I would be like, yeah, we've got this weird weapon that we want to test. We need someone who's a bit creative and a bit not really switched on to what's going on in the world. Where's that lad that lives in his own universe? Yeah, bring him here. Come on, Chuck, come here.
Well, I mean, you might test it on him, but you wouldn't test him with it.
I don't know though. Well, they did test a weapon on him, didn't they? They shot him twice in the chest to test the weapon on him. What number was that? That was like number 85, off top of my head.
Oh,
No.
amazing. But I mean, if you're gonna
Why,
talk,
have you just added ones to this? Have you? I would love it if you've just thought to yourself last week. Just thought I'm going to make up a list and see if he believes it.
no.
You've just wrote all this.
I'm gonna be 100% legit.
I'd be proud of you, bro. If you wrote.
I know, innit? If I'd written this, I would publish it as an Amazon ebook and sell it for £1 a piece. You'd make a fucking killing.
Mate, if you illustrated this, it'd be fucking.
Oh, no way.
Maybe we should.
Yeah, maybe that's something for maybe that's something for the future right there. Jesus. Maybe this is an Instagram page that's ready to go viral. Just one of these with a picture every day.
Yeah.
You got 137 posts. But I was challenged to add something when I was there, and I never ended up doing it.
Did you not?
No, and it
Out
wasn't
of respect for Chuck, or just because you never got the opportunity?
just lazy. No, I had loads of opportunity, but I just never opened the document and typed it in. There
could
was
be a
loads.
lot more.
Yeah, there could be at least be. I mean, ones that are worthy of it. There's at least 5 or 6 that I could have added.
Do you remember them?
Not to the degree now where I'd want to put them in, as because that really is a historical document. That is like
kind of. I don't know if it would class as a historical document because none of it's accurate, but
no,
yeah,
it's a historical document about someone's claims. So even if the claims aren't true, the recording of the claims is true. I wouldn't want to besmirch the good name of this document by putting in something that I couldn't be 100% sure was 100% accurate.
That's fair enough.
Because this is a masterpiece.
It is. It really is. He's got. Can we? I feel bad that we've missed some out.
What, like he was building an EMP to take out Orange, which is obviously what EE used to be called. Yeah, he was building an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse, to take out the CSA and Orange. When it was, that's how long ago it was Orange when those first ones were recorded. It wasn't EE then.
All right, I just thought it was for like a rival business. I
No,
thought he
like
really took it to heart.
As in, like, I don't know if he had something going against a phone network, like if they'd fucked him up for a SIM card or something. Like he went to put a $5. He went to put a $5 top up.
$10 in and only got a $5.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he put a $5 top up one day, just didn't go on. Like, fucking, that's it. Get the EMP out.
Get me that fucking spring and bag of nails now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do him. His mate has made a Bluetooth virus.
See, I think that's doable. My mate at school made a virus. Didn't do much, but he made a virus and spread it around the computers. It was just a thing that'd make a little box pop up on your screen. He couldn't do much more than that. But saying that, the same guy also used to like printing out pictures of a bag of dead rabbits and then print them all out and then put them back in the printer upside down. So anyone that printed anything out on the back of it, he'd have a picture of a bag of dead rabbits.
That is a bold play.
Well, other people would do it with a picture of a dick, and he just thought it was funnier for dead bunnies, which I would say it is.
Yeah, 100%. Like everyone, like
That's
the
harrowing
dick
some
joke.
people.
Yeah, the dick joke. I mean, as much as it's always effective and will never not be funny drawing a dick on something, it's expected. If you see a doodle on something that's coming from somewhere, like there's 9 out of 10 chance that's going to be a penis. Like there's very few times you're going to go, do you know what that drawing's going to be? That's going to be a bag of dead rabbits.
And when you hold the paper up like that, and you can just see something through the other side, you're like, is that a
dead
bin
rabbits.
bag full of dead hairs?
Yep, I guessed right again. Jesus Christ, I've got a knack for this. He goes fishing with TNT, and then that's followed by immediately. At number 39, he goes fishing with TNT, and number 40 is he has a special powder that kills fish.
What if TNT was like a friend though? Like it's just and him and his friend whose initials are TNT, possibly a celebrity because he claims he's met Lennox Lewis, which again could be true. He might have met him, he might have passed him in the street. Don't mean Lennox Lewis remembers him. And who was the other guy? Sean Connery. So it could be a celebrity. I don't know who TNT would stand for.
Well, I mean, there's an old rave MC from the northeast called MC TNT. I wonder if it could
maybe he goes fishing with him.
Maybe him and MC TNT.
He drops the MC because they're friends.
Yeah. There's no need for formalities.
Familiar. Yeah.
And they just pour ketamine in lakes, and that's what kills the fish. That's his special powder. He's just
I was
out
thinking
there.
Lime.
No, he's just out.
Cheaper.
He's out there pouring ket just into the ponds, and then all these fish are just getting in keels and floating to the top, and then that's it. They just scoop them up, reclaim the ketamine, and then you get your fish. Not only can he fish, he's also got a license to hunt foxes.
Which that's definitely a lie.
Yeah, no, you can't get one.
100% a lie. It's 100% a lie, or someone smarter than him, which is terrifying, has been able to fucking sell him a counterfeit license for hunting foxes. I mean, and which is a possibility because coming from this, he could be gullible.
I was going to say, if you've scammed this man, well done to you, because he's a sniper. He's a trained sniper. He's a boxer. He always goes skydiving, and he
never leaves a voicemail either because his voice is protected by copyright.
His voice is protected by copyright. His mate's got a shotgun with a silencer. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing.
Well, if it would be, I would imagine it'd be illegal because it'd pretty much just rifle the shotgun.
Yeah, 100%. That wouldn't be very good at all.
It'd be really fucking dangerous.
Yeah, but
I mean, the shotgun's deadly as it is.
Yeah, but who cares when number 43 says he's got a crossbow?
That's illegal though as well. You can't have a crossbow. You can own a shotgun.
You can buy crossbows. I
thought it's illegal to own a crossbow.
I don't know about that. Well, the thing is,
you can have like a compound bow and that's like got the strength almost of a crossbow. I mean, now we're just literally just telling people what weapons they can and can't have. But
fantastic! This is an informative podcast. This is the sort of guide we were looking for. But no, I don't know about now. It might have changed, but like because of where I live, there's quite a few places around here that sell shotguns and rifles and shit because there's a lot of hunting. And in one of the sporting shops, which is what they are, there was quite a few rifles and shotguns. There always used to be a crossbow in the window that was for sale. I always used to want it because I was a kid and then a teenager at the time. I don't know about now, but until definitely my late teens at least, they were legal because there was one for sale for 250 quid, and I used to look at it every day. Don't know what I'd ever do with it.
I thought they were illegal, man. I honestly thought they were illegal. They might be, no. Fuck knows. I don't know. I didn't research that one. I just researched the license to hunt foxes. You don't need a license to hunt foxes.
You don't. It's either legal or it isn't.
You need a license to fish, though, which is weird. But do you need it when you're using the special powder?
No. Or TNT.
No, I don't think you need it for either of them. And we do know, though, that we can trust a lot of these because of number 25. He's got one of those very rare certificates, which I imagine
say that he's not mad.
Could do a lot. Yeah.
He's got a certificate from the. Hey, I'm not crazy. This piece of paper says it.
Though. In his one-to-ones at work, and they're just there like fucking, any appraisals and like, we've heard you telling a lot of tall tales, and we need to get you tested. And that's why he's bragging about this because maybe his manager had him do it. Just to prove, he's like, yeah, we think you're lying, and he has this done. He's like, oh, okay, so it is all true. It is true that his mate got a 72-inch plasma TV for 300 quid, which again sounds illegal because that just sounds like handling stolen goods.
It does, doesn't it? What about? Number 45 is 100% illegal. That he once killed a dog by jumping on it. Now this This gets into, I'll repeat that. He once killed a dog by jumping out, which to me, I've got the image of, like, when you're do you know when you're a teenager, if you're walking with a bunch of mates, it's raining, and you see a puddle, and you run and take a massive double-footed jump at the same time, and land in the puddle to splash everyone around you. That's what I imagine he did to a dog.
Do you reckon?
A
I was thinking
decent sized
he sort of jumped up next to one and stamped it with one foot. I was thinking.
Oh no, I was thinking
growing
proper
up though.
leap.
You know, I had a mate that bragged that he kicked a German Shepherd in the head and knocked it out. And because he'd been trespassing somewhere, and I was like, that's a fucking mad thing to brag about. He'd bring it up with girls and that, mate, and I'd just be staring at him.
Because you're going, Ian, like, I might be weird, but you're not getting anywhere.
Like I know that I'm poorly. Like I know I'm not well. But that, you're not. You've got no excuse.
Yeah,
bro.
at least I know. Yeah, that's it. Like,
I'm aware.
I've got some sort of self-awareness that I shouldn't bring up the things I want to bring up in conversation. What the fuck are you doing? That starts a list. Now I'm going to go off piste here, and I'm going to try and divert about. We're going to come back to chronological order a bit, but that starts off a series of animal-related points. Now let's try. What's the one about when he hid as a sheep? Where's that one? You know the one. You know the one.
That was late on.
That is late on. See, I told you that there is some sort of crescendo.
It was ninjutsu.
Oh, don't, hey, don't.
He only taught ninjutsu to one girlfriend. He didn't teach it to all
Here we
five.
go.
114.
114. This is by far, and I hope this. Right, I've got to be honest. I'm not entirely sure if some of these, because you've just said, did I make any up and put them in? I've said no.
Well, I actually kind of know where this one sort of comes from. But go on, say what you're going to say.
But you don't know if. I'd like to think that none of these are embellished. But I'm hoping that no one has ever took it upon themselves to throw a lie in themselves that he didn't say. This is almost too perfect to be true. But it's not beyond the realms of reality for this person, given everything else that you ascertain from this list. 114... he once caught a sheep and sheared it with a sharp stone, then wore its fleece and wandered around a field to lure out a wolf that had been killing livestock on his mate's farm. The wolf attacked him, and he killed it using a martial arts technique he invented himself called Karawando Jujic Kendo, which loosely translated means kill with hard stare. If used correctly, the technique can actually freeze the blood in the veins of any living organism, and that's why he can't give a demonstration, because he'd wipe out most of the place where he is. Can't say the last bit.
No.
Now
that stems from what I think was the second or third level of a PlayStation 1, possibly a very early PlayStation 2 game, I remember, where you were a wolf or a coyote. That was a rip-off of Wile E. Coyote from Looney Tunes, and you had to do pretty much what's described there. Right.
I mean, that's not the first time I've heard something about that, but I'm not going to say that there's no point of this that shouldn't be explored. I mean, the lot of it, the fact that he caught a sheep and killed it. If he's trying to stop a wolf from killing sheep on a farm, why would he kill a sheep himself?
Oh, you don't have to kill. You sound like a vegan now, bro. You don't have to kill a sheep to shear it.
Oh no, sorry.
I mean, you're not going to do it much good with a sharp stone, like.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. When a sharp stone suggests he took.
Like, where was he in the world?
He took skin off instead of taking fleece off. It makes it seem like he dressed up in the skin of a sheep. But even if he just stuck its fucking fleece to itself, my main issue is the translation of Karawando Jujic Kendo, because I think we know that Jiu-Jitsu and Kendo. Jiu-Jitsu is obviously a martial art. Kendo
Jiu-Jitsu, I think, translates to the art of breaking the body.
I think it's the gentle art.
No, that's judo. Judo was the gentle way. I'm sure. I'm relatively confident.
It's around that. I know it's around that. But Kendo's a stick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
None of this translates to kill with hard stare. I don't know if you've ever put that word in Google Translate. Let me tell you now. That search results 0, nil point, negative, but it would do
Well, he's
because
not
he
promoted
invented
it.
this. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
he
it's
invented
just for
this,
him.
and he's essentially kept it to himself. It's like the 5-finger death punch. You know, the one from Kill Bill, the 5-point exploding hard technique.
So maybe then the Wolf's going to come back just before the end of just before the end of Chuck's life, and the Wolf's like the Wolf's kid or something, or he thought the Wolf was dead, and the Wolf's going to come back to his house where he's rearing these wolf cubs, and the Wolf's going to kill him with a hard stare and boil his blood.
He's took this time
Gives
to
him a
learn
dirty
and
look through
come
the window.
back. He's took all this time. Yeah, even his lass are just there one day, and she's like washing up outside. She's like, Chuck.
They're getting hot in here, innit?
Chuck, is there any reason why there's a
That
wolf?
dog's big.
Yeah, was there any reason why there's just a rabid wolf just at the kitchen window, just looking at you like honestly, in a quite a sassy manner? And I don't
What
think...
are them photos called that actors send in to try and get a job? Headshots, mate. You're just getting through the post like fucking thousands a day, just wolves in different poses.
Just
It said
staring.
in different poses because the wolf's trying to figure it out.
No, it's if you put them together as a flick book and then flick them all one day, he actually does the sequence of look, and then that's it. You hypnotised and done. He's done that for the long haul. I mean,
There's one close to there that,
Go on.
if true, I think would explain some of them again. Like just like with the guy that for some of them you could easily accept about half of them being true if you believe number 35. His mate won between 3.5 and 7 million on the lottery. Now that one I would say coupled with where's it gone? He was rounded up by machine gun armed Turkish squaddies and imprisoned for 2 weeks for no reason.
He was, yeah.
Now,
Well, no, I wouldn't say no reason, because he was also offered a job in Egypt protecting oil rigs, and obviously there's some sort of political and like some sort of issues between countries over there in that region. And I mean, it wouldn't surprise if they thought he was a spy and like, hey, you were offered a job as a bodyguard. Your mate protects the Emperor of Japan, and you've been offered
all
a
over
job.
the world, mate. You're an important man.
Yeah, Egyptian oil rigs. Come on, get in the van. You're a person of interest. You know, Sean. You literally know
so much money.
You literally know James Bond. You know Sean Connery, you know James Bond, and you have jobs in all of these countries. There's no way you aren't a spy. Get in the van.
117 as well, though. I think 117, coupled with the one I just mentioned then, if one or either of them is true, could explain a lot of the rest. Like he would go out sort of searching excitement in a way because such harrowing things have happened. So
well,
like
his mate won the lottery, but then a mate blew his head off with a shotgun while sitting next to him.
Well, I mean the one with the Turkish squaddies and someone shooting their own head off.
Yeah,
I mean that'd be quite traumatic. So that would lead you down a very different path. But I mean, it doesn't mean that he's going to be good mates with Vic Reeves and Vic's going to come and visit his friend's mum's house once in a while.
Do you know what?
Like, why would your mate go and visit your friend's mum? Unless it's to slip her one.
I was going to say, I mean, current Pornhub trends would suggest that he's shagging her. She's stuck in a washing machine, and he's the only person that can get her out with his penis. There's a couple of conflicts though. There's a conflict in one of where's the insomnia one? So there's 1, 2, 3 where he can't sleep because he has flashbacks. He sees his mate blowing his own head off. And then there's another one where he takes medication for insomnia, but only a few times a month though. Right, so he can sleep because he does sleep.
He just wants to sleep every now and then.
Yeah, he only sleeps. Like
I'd also explain a lot of this though as well. That's where he finds the time.
I mean, that could be some sort of delusion, yeah. But delusion would explain a lot of this.
No, I don't mean delusion. I mean, this is where he finds the time to achieve all this stuff. He doesn't sleep.
He was, well, I mean, you say he doesn't sleep, but you would have flashbacks if number 106, after you'd left the army, he was employed as a bodyguard / mercenary / soldier of fortune.
Soldier of Fortune is a nice addition at the end there.
It is, isn't it?
It's a nice word in that. I mean, there's another one though where they've thrown a little like punny thing on, where he says he didn't he eat a dog covered in chocolate.
Oh, that one slipped us by.
Number 87.
Oh, right,
87. He has eaten a Labrador covered in chocolate, and then in brackets the collator has put, yes, I know, chocolate Labrador.
Oh, hang on.
But he also has ate a dog. He's told someone else he's ate a dog.
Some more conflicting information. His mate can dodge bullets. Now, that can't be the same friend that blew his head off with a shotgun, can it?
Well, no, maybe it could be. And he wanted to really test himself.
Oh, to see how far, to see to what degree
Just
he could
how
dodge.
Quick
it turns out he could dodge bullets, but not shot.
Not
shot goes in all directions. He was like, I can dodge this fucking 50 cal, no bother. I can dodge BBs. This is the one. I'm gonna try a shotty. He kills cows.
That's very impressive. Yeah, the
one where he kills cows for cash.
That's not impressive. No, that's not impressive. That just means he's had a trip to Cambodia.
Yeah, but he does it for cash, as if that suggests he almost
paying him.
Yeah, but he doesn't work.
I took that as he does it for cash, like he pays someone cash to kill their cows.
He just goes up to farms and goes, "Here's 250 quid.
I'm gonna go kill Betsy
can I go and fucking strangle your cow?" No, that sounds like he's paid to kill cows, but like abattoirs already exist, so it can't be for meat. Like it must be like people who've got vendettas against cows.
Or because his porn career didn't take off. He's only starred in 2 porn films.
He was in 2 production porn films. So I mean, you see, it's kicked off more than any of ours did.
So we started on the bovine snuff films.
Well, yeah, his career couldn't take off because he had a bullet in his arse, because he had been shot in his arse but couldn't show anyone the bullet as his wound was on his bum, which is number 68.
Do you reckon he got shot in the arse when he kicked that lad 4 meters in the air?
Possibly, or it could have been something to do with number 69, which is mate living in exile in Mexico because he defrauded a company of 350 grand, but the police only found 70 grand. So obviously bullets must have flew in that situation.
Yeah. He got a 42-inch plasma TV, for 200 quid. But his mate got a 70-odd-inch one for 300 quid.
Mate, I mean, he went the wrong person. They need to
exchange contacts.
They do. His mate was paid to be a guard for the oil companies in Iraq, and he got paid to shoot anyone from Iraq. Iraq.
That's not a real job.
Iraq.
You were saying special agent before or spy, right?
Yeah.
I ended up learning about it this week for my show. Fucking OST agents. Have you ever heard of them?
I don't think so. Possibly.
They're like a specialist group in the American Air Force, which apparently go around and spread misinformation and lies.
Oh right, yeah, I've heard this before. I mean, that's not uncommon.
There's only been like 1 or 2 people that's come out and said that they do that, so no one really knows if it's true, because the OST does exist. But obviously, why would they come out and say, yeah, we go and spread lies?
The other thing you would take as an extra level is that they are OST agents, but what they're telling you about them being OST agents is bullshit, and it's just another level of trying to disinform.
Yeah.
Could take it a level further. But I mean, this guy is even
working in an office would be a good place to have him.
Yeah,
because they reach a lot of people.
It's not a bad shot.
One of the weirdest lies I got told in the computer shop when I worked in there was from this little old day who told me that you need to pour your milk into your brew first because it stops the water from burning the coffee granules.
Well, that's not untrue.
Is it not?
Not for it's not for instant coffee. Instant coffee's fine, but when you do it,
instant coffee is.
Will you do it with Or is it with it's a certain types of coffee you pour the it may be even old instant coffees you pour the milk on first, because otherwise pouring boiling water at least, or not letting your water cool a little bit, that burns and makes the coffee better.
Oh, I never knew that. See, I thought she was chatting out her arse.
No, all she's doing is
misremembering,
because you're going to pour a kettle in straight away when it's just boiled, which is going to be too hot. So the other way is just to let the water cool a bit and then pour it in. But what she's doing is making it cool, so when you add the boiling water, it's not going to be boiling because the milk's already there, which is cold. So you're balancing it out a bit so it doesn't burn the coffee.
Fair enough. Well then, I'd stand corrected.
Yeah, you should probably go and tell that woman, if she's still alive, that she was right all along. And
she'll still be alive. She looked like she had a good while left in her.
Yeah, but COVID's been hitting for the last year, mate.
Oh, true.
He was once a male escort, but that slides in with the porn
and with the sleeping with 100 women and having a 10-inch member.
Yeah, it all does fit.
You wonder why. You wouldn't really, realistically, right? If I did, I'd fucking tell everyone.
Do you know what, though?
You don't need to tell people.
Out of that whole list, that's one that's easily provable.
It is. That and the bullet wound in the arse. But he's obviously a man of class.
You could kill
Chuck.
Is he?
I would say so. He's a man of class.
He's not
whipping out his arse cheek to show a scar. He's not getting his dick out.
He also paid £105 for a piece of wood to make a key rack. I mean,
that's not unbelievable though.
But what that is a man of class.
Well, yeah, because that's a good bit of like fucking cherry wood there.
That's a nice bit of teak or something, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously he's good with clearly good with his hands as well. You know, having 5 girlfriends, been with 100 women. He's fucking been in the army and that, and he's gonna make the key rack. So that's another way you can sort of link them together.
Very true. I mean, he's got good hands and he's got a silver tongue because number 101, when he was up in court for attempted murder, he just told the judge it wasn't him, so the judge let him go. And
yeah, innit? Like that's
a suave talker. That's a smooth.
What a man.
That's a smooth. What's your so have you got any questions for the defendant? And then he's just like, "Did you do this?" His lawyer, and he just gets up and goes, "Your Honor, I can tell you right now, as a man who has been employed by Iraq,
as a man whose friend once bought a computer mouse for £100,
as a man who once dressed as a sheep to kill a wolf, I can tell you right now, I did not do this murder. And furthermore, my brother, who already has Windows 7, 6 months before it's even been released by Microsoft, which is number 104, I can prove with technology that this was not me." And he's like, "Yep, see you later, off you go." There's a lot of this that's about like getting stuff early or getting stuff cheap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Isn't. It's like he's showing off, but it's not really stuff you would generally show off about. It'd just be like some people do like to show off connections they have, I guess, and the people that they know. And that's a lot of this, I would say, is showing off the people that you know. Yeah. Except for like he was once freed from a bungee rope, which is a weird expression, 40 foot in the air over a river.
Yeah, what I like about that one is they put full stops, which makes it it makes it deliver like a joke. He's like, he's once freed from a 40 foot bungee rope. Stop. 40 foot
in the air
over a river.
And the whole room's just like, oh.
There's some really brilliant comedy writing in this. Like, but he's talked about TVs a lot, and then he said, "I don't own a TV or have a license, but I've got a £1,900 rear projection TV, but not for watching TV programs on."
Yeah.
What the
Probably
fuck?
for watching the porn that he was in.
He just watches those 2 films.
Yeah, repeatedly.
Watches those and stares
backwards.
Stares at his 10-inch dick and the bullet in his arse and just goes,
well,
I could have made
his dick is a bit like
this.
a Hoover hose. If it's 10 inches, that's got to resemble a Hoover hose, isn't it, in some way or other. So maybe he does watch the porn, like the last 5 minutes of the porn, and he just watches it in reverse.
With his bottle of whiskey that's worth...
Sucking his cum up.
But
he's like, I'm done.
With, like...
Same time tomorrow on my projector.
I'll see you in 24 hours. Yeah, it's a date. Oh, where was that? What, he just sits at home with his...
That's why he gets all the women, bro. Because they think he's so respectful. Because he watches porn in reverse. He cleans the women up. And they're like, you know what? He's a man of honour. I love this. He's clearly, you know, a very, very polite man.
He's not just a man of honour. He's a soldier of fortune.
He's a soldier of fortune.
He's a soldier of fortune with a bottle of whiskey that's worth either £100 or £200. The value seems to vary from day to day. That's also that writing's better than the lie. The writing of the lie is better than the lie. Like it's fantastic.
It's a little note added at the end, isn't it? Value changes from day to day.
Yeah. Because
like every morning he's on eBay and he's like, Jack Daniels, honey and apple.
No. That's as if they ask him every day. And
how much is that whiskey worth?
And he goes 100 or he goes 200 because he doesn't know which one he said the day before. Or he doesn't even know he's told the story before. This is what I mean, man.
He just doesn't remember the value and he knows it's worth something like that. If all of this is true, looking at it from that angle, that very specific angle of 137 facts of this man's life that are all 100% true.
Yeah.
Why would you remember the exact price of the whiskey if you know that you've fucking read the English version of the Quran? That's a lot of information to take in there.
That's the English. That is a fucking. That one is also probably highly insulting.
I would have thought so. Yes.
I don't believe that you're probably not allowed, or it's not encouraged to have an English copy of the Quran.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would be completely wrong because it means people can understand and read it. But
actually, in hindsight, there may be
in a bragging sense.
Yeah, there probably is them. I'm probably being very ignorant.
I think it's offensive that he's bragged about it. If anything's offensive about it.
Yeah, that's true. There probably is some. They probably do exist. So people that are actually trying to learn or convert or can reference them. But the fact that he's used it as a lie, as a point, is like, why?
He thinks they don't exist. No one's going to have heard of this before.
Number 133 is like, you've been to Tenerife, I've been to Tenerife. He's got a 5-season sleeping bag.
Yes.
And then the writer has obviously added the point of presumably for that extra season he needs whilst camping on the moon, because he's been to the moon, obviously, hasn't he?
Well, no, he's been to the edge of space as well.
Yeah.
You would need a relatively thick sleeping bag for that.
Yeah, I mean, he might even wear just his 5-season sleeping bag when he walks home from work with no shoes to harden his feet, which he quite often does, apparently.
See, that's another one that's easy to prove, though.
Yeah, take
Just
your shoes
wait 10
off.
minutes after he's left and then follow him. See if he's carrying his shoes.
Innit?
There's so many of these you could just prove. I really enjoy number 132, though. 132 made me laugh like a little girl when I read it. It's pretty dark, but
this is an animal related
another
one.
animal related one.
Yeah, man.
And death, a lot of death and violence.
There's a lot, yeah, in it. It's as if like this comes back to your mate with the bag of the dead rabbits. It's like
he knows how to make
not knowing what
funny.
to impress people with.
Yeah.
Like, do you know, like your one that said he showed a lass's talk about? Sorry, your mate who said he kicked a dog or something. The person you said who kicked a dog. Yeah. Like, it's that thinking that was impressive. Is I thinking that sort of animal abuse is impressive.
No, it is impressive. It is impressive if you can knock a fully grown Alsatian out with a kick. That is quite impressive if the dog's running at you in a violent way.
Yeah,
but it's not a good thing. It's not impressive. In the same way that like a spree killer can be impressive if they get through 40 people in a week.
Harold Shipman was impressive.
Terrifying. It doesn't mean they're good. Like, he's told these thinking... It comes across he's told all of these thinking they're good. Because why would you want people to think less of you? Why would you want to go to work and make everyone think less of you? Right, let's give him number 132. His friend beheads turkeys by taking a run up at the turkeys and cutting their heads off with a scythe. A scythe similar to what the Grim Reaper has.
Similar.
It's the run up. The run up makes it funny.
The run up
it's not funny.
Makes it feel like a hockey penalty. You just like Happy Gilmore hits a golf ball. That's how I imagine this bloke's just going round Bernard Matthews with a fucking scythe. Just whoop, Tiger Woods in it and shouting for.
Imagine if all of this has just come about from him being stoned off of a fucking shady bud and he's fucking misremembering films.
Oh, he smokes weed?
Yeah, maybe he is just misremembering films.
Nah. I don't know where this comes from, maybe. Which half of these have never been in films. Half of these are far too fantastical.
Misremembering them, though. Like, when you watch a film sometimes and you doze off and you have a weird little dream in the middle and you're like, what the fuck?
Why would you have a dry ice machine installed in your car?
It looks like you're going faster.
Only inside. In the car, not out the car. It's in the car. So you turn it on and fucking instantly blind yourself. It's got a fucking dry ice smoke machine.
Comes out your fan.
Yeah. And fucking possibly poison yourself from a lack of oxygen as well. He has one of only 129 programmable Xboxes in the UK.
Honestly, I don't know what that even means.
I'm guessing like a version of sort of jailbreaking your Xbox where you can program it and change it to do different things and probably mess around with the operating software and shit, which is obviously not possible. Or possibly it is, but if they're programmable... I mean, if anyone... Is this
where he's making his money? He's made 129 jailbroken fucking Xboxes.
Yeah, but isn't it... Where's the one where he's like a fucking estate agent in his days off?
Yeah, that is there, yeah. I'll give him this one while you're searching for that. 126. He claims that eating vegetables has rotted his teeth.
Oh, yeah, that's a brilliant one.
Another pointless lie. Like, it doesn't... But though, really, again, to play devil's advocate, though, staying on the fence, that doesn't mean that's a lie. He can claim that if he believes that, that's fine. It doesn't make it true, but if he believes that, then it's true that he believes that. Do you know what I mean? Like, does he just believe it or kind of thing?
Well, I mean, he's a man. I don't think he has time to make this up because obviously he has his job. He has his permanent job that he's locked down, which is the place where everyone knows him and where this list's been compiled. Obviously, there's his extra work as a security guard, as a mercenary, as a soldier of fortune, and then he's now a mortgage advisor earning an extra $1,000 a week, working just 2 days of his 4 days off doing mortgage advising. Like, this lad. He's balling. He's a grafter. He's a hustler. You tell you that, but he's grafting so much that like, why does he work? Why does he work?
He must just love it, mate. He must just love fucking collecting things. Like the one where how much was it he made on his? He had a year off, And he made a lot of. Well, he needs his money though for his delivery of Havana cigars.
Oh
10
yeah,
Havana cigars for $2 grand.
£2 man. That's a
He just
that's a steal.
pisses money up the wall.
He-
His mate did an electronic bank heist for 300k and got locked away for 2 years, but still has the cash. Now, how does he have the cash?
That's
He doesn't have
remarkably.
cash.
But that's remarkably similar to the bloke who defrauded a company for 350 grand, but they only found 70. There's a lot of this
Maybe he was
money
doing a
getting
lot of
won and like only a little bit getting paid or getting off. There's also the year off he got. The year off. Oh, now
That's what I was
this
looking
isn't
for.
in. Now this isn't in. Right. The number 20 is number 21 is the year he was off sick. He got paid 40 grand. Right. Now what isn't on this list, which is possibly true. Again, I've never actually been able to vouch for confirm this. I think it is. He was off sick for a year, but it wasn't reported to the business. And one day, a year after, he just walked back into work.
Wow.
No sick notes during that time. Nothing.
He definitely did that, yeah.
He did that. And
That's incredible.
Got the job. He went off sick for a year.
That shows there's something about him, man.
Well, this would obviously explain because he was off doing lots of things. He was off creating EMPs and fucking getting thrown through pub windows and getting myxomatosis in his attic with his mate that's got 17 personalities.
I do think that's impressive though. That shows he's got that adds credence to telling a judge I didn't do it. If you can come back into a big company that I imagine has quite a high staff turnover after not turning up for a year with no mention of where you've been, telling them anything, probably still getting paid, I assume, and then they're just like, "Oh, welcome back."
Yeah, fantastic, mate, brilliant.
Silver tongue. What a guy.
That's it, mate. It's the silver tongue. It's the same as getting away with murder. Like you just I didn't do it, officer. I didn't do it, Your Honour. That's all. I've got to let this guy go. And it's. I mean, he was headhunted by IBM. Which, that could be where he disappeared for a year. He could have been working for IBM for a year, which it would explain a lot. It
doesn't explain why he doesn't sleep on a bed.
No, but it does explain how he's got enough money to throw rats out of planes with bombs attached to them so they blow up when they're cleaned off the street.
Yeah.
Which, what the fuck is the aim
really
of that?
That's clever, though, as
what
well.
What is the aim of that? Why would you...
That's genius, though. Maybe he worked for the rival sort of street cleaning firm. Maybe there was a start-up company, that was starting out, and they wanted to make, them vans that get about with the spinny things at the front that spin round and suck everything into the Hoover at the front of the little van, one-seater van. Maybe his mate who won the lottery invested in a company that made a different version of them.
Nah, that English copy of the Quran's starting to make sense.
Why?
Well, I mean, he's doing this for jihad, isn't he? That's what he's doing. He's putting rap bombs out on the street. He's figured I could suicide bomb, but I'm not gonna. No, it was rats.
No, he blows up pigeons as well. Literally number 10.
No,
he
does blow up pigeons,
and
but
pigeons
this
are
one,
the rats of the sky.
He throws rats out of planes with bombs attached to them, so they blow up when they're cleaned off the street. Like he's carrying out a mass jihad using rats.
But I would also say it's odd that it's when it's cleaned up, man. That doesn't sound like it's on purpose. So can he be doing that? Like, is he doing it for that, or is it just for fucking? Did he want them to blow up when they hit the ground?
But it specifically says so they blow up when cleaned off the street.
Yeah. What? I don't understand how that would work, innit?
I'm guessing if you wanted the rats to survive, you probably wouldn't drop them out of a plane. Or you'd put little parachutes on them.
Oh, yeah, they could have done.
Could have put little parachutes on the little rats. Little fucking
Oh, he does. But he has got experience with parachutes, bro.
Oh yeah, he's
skydiving all the time.
So between his 4 days at work, right, or his 3 days at work, and then his 4 days off, 2 of which he's a mortgage advisor. He also has time to not only get thrown through pub windows, but he also has time to often skydive whilst killing cows.
He got the guy to throw him through the pub window so he could practice his landing for the skydive.
That's very true. Now, one of the points countering the fact that he gets paid cash to kill cows is his mate inseminates cows. It's a weird cycle of life and death in the bovine industry that they've got going on.
It is. It's got everything covered,
and it doesn't say that his mate inseminates cows with bull sperm. It just says that his mate inseminates cows.
Inseminates him.
It's like he's just said his mate shags cows.
Mm.
Which wouldn't be beyond, like... This wouldn't be beyond his sort of realm.
That, I would say it's more believable to say my mate shags cows, my mate's once shagged a cow, than it's more than believing he artificially inseminates cows. But again, though, there's a lot of money in that.
Yeah.
And that would explain where some of the money comes from.
Yeah. It would explain
He's
the
trained
money.
to handle nuclear waste as well. That's got to be a well-paid job.
Again, he's going to be building a bomb with that. He's going to attach it to the rats. And all this
with
is...
that fertiliser and compost from, what was that, number 70-something?
What?
He says that he's able to make like homemade explosives from compost.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shit, from compost and fertiliser.
Aye.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. He was also trained with to be a gymnast with Lightning, the gladiator from Gladiators.
Yeah. Are you ready?
That's fantastic. But there's some of these, like, so his first chemistry lesson, he learned how to make dynamite. My first chemistry lesson, I think I learned what a litmus test was.
I think the teacher threw some potassium in some
some magnesium in the water. That's the one.
It goes purple. Yeah.
That's what. Well, he was learning dynamite, which I mean,
we went to a very different school.
We clearly went to the wrong school. Now, there's a couple of these that link together. Some of them, like, he really wants to take down the establishment. So the EMP one links to number 56, which is he's going to blockade the 2 police cars that patrol the entire town in order to create a diversion so he can exterminate the perps responsible for his ordeal. He will carry this out with various weapons of mass destruction, i.e. CS gas, which isn't a weapon of mass destruction, nor is it a lethal weapon at all. But, I mean, he does have CS gas, dynamite. He's got a special powder that kills fish.
I mean, if it kills fish, he's going to...
It's going to massacre a town centre. It's going to massacre a town centre.
It would do some harm.
He's got laser guns, mate. He tested them in the army. But that links with the EMP. Also links that he's going to destroy... He's going to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
It does, number 77.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of... he's anti-establishment.
And to explain his youthful looks, because he could be 25, could be in his mid-40s...
Plastic surgery.
No, I mean, that makes more sense than what I was going to
say.
No,
there is a plastic... That is in there.
Blood.
Yeah, he's drank blood and he's had plastic surgery.
Yeah, that'll keep you young.
Which essentially makes him one of the Hollywood elite. I think that's both of those are qualifiers.
That could be why he gets all away with all this.
Yeah, but it would say a lot. There's he's really not down for, like, he's up for a bit of crime, because him and his mate once helped carry a dead...
for a lot of crime.
Yeah, his
mate of the list is illegal.
I know. Once helped carry a dead body out of a house.
That's dark. That.
Which, I mean, was that his mate that blew his head off, or did he just go around another one?
Yeah. He just brings another friend, like the cable guy, mate.
That's all he's after.
That's what he is.
That's what he's after, mate. The one of the ones that gets us a lot. Where is it? The one about his intelligence. Number 74. He will only date someone. He will only date someone with the same IQ as him. This is so he can have a good, in-depth conversation, as he finds most people not intelligent enough.
No, I think what that actually is, though, he's misunderstood what's happening in them situations.
Well, 100%.
He wants to date people with the same IQ as him, which is fair enough. Why not?
But the
reason that they can stand him is because they know he's chatting shit, so they just switch off to it and let him talk.
100%. 100%.
See, I was waiting for the one above. That's a very impressive one. He got done for speeding on a push bike at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like, his legs are like tree trunks.
He can pedal. I mean, he pedals barefoot, doesn't he?
Sideways through doors. Yeah, because his feet are hard.
Because his feet are hard, so he pedals barefoot, and obviously that's and he's had plastic surgery to make himself more streamlined. He's really aerodynamic. He's
had it to bring his chin forward.
You know, like when Kyle's dad on South Park turns into a dolphin.
That's the funniest episode of South Park, bro. That one and Free Willix literally make my eyes water. Like, my eyes are starting to go squinty now.
That's
thinking
what
when he first turns up with that Zimmer frame.
Yep. That's what he's done with his nose, just to become very aerodynamic. That's what he's done with his face.
The dolphin plastic could help though as well with that, because it'd be like a little go faster hole, wouldn't it? The blowhole.
that with really hard feet, I reckon is. I mean, put it this way: if Lance Armstrong had a dolphin's head and really hard feet, he would never have needed to take steroids or EPO. He'd have been absolutely
would have let
fine.
him compete.
Nah, they would have just been like,
It's
"Yo,
not worth it, mate. You've won. We've cancelled.
yeah.
We've cancelled the Tour de France.
Yeah, we've just ended it. There's no point in doing it anymore."
We'll wait till you're 50 and start it up again.
I'm just seeing what we can round these ones off with. He has a habit of simply touching or leaning on glass windows, doors, or vending machines, and they instantaneously shatter.
Yeah,
that's
he's
his genetic
guy,
power.
Mate. He's a bulky guy.
He's not.
Well, it sounds it.
He's not. I tell you right now, he's about 11 stone wet through, and he's about an inch taller than me.
Fucking hell,
mate. He's not. This bloke is a very slight fella.
Well, maybe he's got sharp shoulders then, if that's the case.
He's got sharp wit and intellect. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He's got soldier of fortune, heart of steel.
Heart of gold, mate. Fucking, they're not all positive though either, which I quite like, because he's got that one where he says his sister's house is just full of bullet holes.
Yep, his sister's
they're
house.
Not all complimentary or flattering.
He often takes people's watches off them when shaking hands without realising as well. He's a bit of a scally.
He used to do that. He can't do it anymore.
Yeah, 137, which is the very last one. He's been attacked with a knife twice. Both times he made sure they wished they hadn't bothered, as a knife is only worth having if you know how to use it. And I know, mate, that last bit is verbatim. Because he used to, yeah, mate, one of this lad's points is he tries to say a lot that sounds profound. So he'll make it sound like a quote or a saying. So that bit where he says they hadn't bothered, as a knife is only worth having if you know how to use it, like, that is textbook him. I know that as the way it's written is verbatim as he said it, because that is 100% his fucking deliverance. Deliverance. I mean, he could have been part of Deliverance. It make fucking sense.
Yeah. Well, he definitely could have been part of Deliverance because he bench presses his sister and mum.
At the same time.
I wouldn't want to manhandle me mum.
No.
I don't have a sister, and I'd like to think if I did have a sister, even if she was attractive, I don't think I'd manhandle her.
No.
I don't want to be grabbing me mum and trying to lift her above my head.
No, I wouldn't either.
No.
So
a weird brag.
In order to let's draw a conclusion.
How?
What? What do you think of this lad?
I think we could get a 5-part series out of him, mate. I reckon we could go to Netflix with this.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, mate, I've not seen anything like this. I've met weird people, don't get me wrong, and I've met people where they're talking and I think not a word of this is true.
Yeah.
But not to this extent.
Yeah.
I know it's done over a few years. Sorry to interrupt. I know it's done over a few years and that, so it makes it probably seem, maybe to me, it's making it possibly seem like it could be worse than what it actually is. But going off what you're saying, he comes out with this constant, and this is just what they can be asked to write down
all the time. The time. And yeah, it's. I've met a lot of bullshit artists, and everyone was one. Like, I was one when I was younger, like about 15, 16. I would say shit that hadn't really, or embellish shit, just to like, because I was growing up and just being a fucking teenager and trying to have a good story and trying to have crack with people.
Yeah, but that shows where you've gone in your life, though. You want to be, I didn't mean it sound as fucking derogatory. That you're a comedian, innit? So you all embellish stories. That's your job.
Yeah,
that's what you want to do. It's natural that you would do that. This guy doesn't. This guy's a salesman and a soldier of fortune. You want to be able to trust him. He's
a protector of people, and he's a massacre of Iraqis.
He doesn't like them, does he?
No,
he doesn't like that area of the world at all.
He doesn't actually have.
The one where he doesn't want a tan.
Yeah, he doesn't want a tan in case people think he's Pakistani. But he's not like he's not racist or anything like that. It's just a lot of that is. No, a lot of that is like military related, because that's his image of what the military are doing and where they're fighting. Like it plays into like his stories he sets up in his head. But I've never met someone who's that productive. No one who's been able to churn out that much AAA rated content.
No,
and I mean, part of that, I loved spending time around him during a shift to get that daily dose. But I'm glad it was only a shift. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
get what you mean.
you couldn't take, as nice as it was, but that's the only reason you could take it was because the lad was really sound.
And it's
Outside
getting
of all
you
this
through work
bullshit,
as well.
yeah, it was really sound and it was just entertainment. It wasn't annoying. Like he used to complain about work a lot, which was annoying. But like,
I'm not surprised he's complaining about work though. He's like, fucking, why am I wasting my time here?
I could be out here
making
killing
fucking £1,000
cows
today.
Could be killing cows and selling
I
mortgages.
could be watching me mate impregnate a cow.
Or shoot his face off. Yeah, it's. I've never met someone who's so productive, and he only gets away with it because he is sound. But to this day, I don't know where they come from.
Well, I've got an idea for you, a proposition, not like
Right.
not one that the listeners have to worry about. What if his brother's in the army, and his brother's only really like a catering assistant in the army? Obviously, still important, but he doesn't want to tell his family he just does the catering.
Right.
And when he rings his brother or writes letters to his brother or whatever, his brother's saying all this mad stuff that he's doing, and he believes it. So he's like, I'm going to tell this. That's really cool. That's fucking sick, mate. That I'm going to tell everyone that I do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that, but that would make sense. That would make sense. It would make sense more than what is actually going on, which we don't really know. But yeah, that's not the crack.
But if he's just got various bags in his pockets and he just pulls words out of them bags, like handwritten words. He's like Labrador food.
Yeah,
a Labrador once, guys.
South Park on how Family Guy's written. Yeah, he just picks three notes out of his fucking pocket and goes, right, fucking cows, wolf, and then very long martial art that I've just made up. Yeah, that'll fucking do.
He couldn't read that word, bro. That's what it was. He couldn't read that word.
Yeah.
Just a long word he'd scribbled down and frantically.
On that note, we're gonna move over for Chode. It's a Liberal Paradise time. This one's been it's been funny.
I think it's been the best. I've loved this.
It's been great. You can keep that. You enjoy that document and keep it safe.
Hello, mate. I'm going to try and turn this into something.
Well, I'll help you, because if anything, I want a hand in that going gold. But it's got the potential to be something for sure. Even if it is just an Instagram account with like weird fucking diagrams to go with it, but it fucking go. On that note, we're going to leave it. So, Chode, fire up the decks, kid. I'll see you later.